Have erupted in the Democratic Republic of Congo over proposed constitutional reforms amid growing political tensions. The demonstrations have been organized by several civil society organizations and citizen movements, which argue that the reforms are poorly timed given the country's ongoing security, humanitarian, and economic challenges. The proposed reforms by President Félix Tshisekedi have also drawn strong criticism from opposition parties, which accuse him of attempting to amend the constitution to pave the way for a third presidential term after his current mandate ends in 2028, despite the existing two-term limit. For more on this, we are joined on the line by our correspondent in the DRC, Jimmy Shukrani Bakomera. Jimmy, good afternoon, and thank you for joining us on Africa Update.
Thank you so much.
Now, Jimmy, brief us on the protest action against these proposed constitutional reforms. How widespread are the protests, and have people heeded the call to come out in their numbers?
Yes, thank you so much. At this time, mainly the city of Goma, in the eastern of the Democratic Republic of Congo, where protesters are in the road of the city just to protest against this constitutional reform, which have been proposed by President Félix Tshisekedi and a presidential majority in the DRC. On their message, they are showing that the constitutional reforms is not something which can head the first place in city where the country is. There is something which they can do. So they said they are against the constitutional reforms or amendment or any project which is talking about amendment of constitution, because according to them they are showing that the actually constitution does not have any problem, but the government could seek some solution of problems which recognize for of people, just basic people, especially in Goma. More than 50,000 people they just in the road just to contest this situation, and they are saying they are not sure for this which is happening in the DRC. They accuse the government to do not show the first interest. They are not interested to put end to something like insecurity in the DRC, but only they put first the constitutional reforms, and they say they want that to see the dialogue between the government and the opposition members be held in a good climate, in a good behavior. They don't want that one party can participate to the national dialogue, and when another party is not concerned. So brief is this concerning the protesting of today until now. Right now, we are talking in the Goma city. There is protesting in Masisi territory, in South Kivu, in some parts of South Kivu. There are protesting because it's organized by civil society and other members of some local organization which defending human rights in the DRC, which they organize this manifestation or these protesters.
Now, Jimmy, how is the debate affecting the political climate ahead of a 2028 presidential election?
According to the opposition, first of all, the opposition is not is not trying to allow the third mandate of President Felix Tshisekedi, and other political analysts. They always show that uh, the the 2029 2028 election, it will consent to another one who can replace the president. And this constitutional reform is one of the debate right now, because according the project which proposed by the presidential majority is to allow the president Felix Tshisekedi to be a candidate to the third mandate in the DRC, something which the constitution in DRC don't allow. it allow only 2 mandates, 5 years, 5 years for a mandate. So right now, it's a situation which creates some misunderstanding in a political climate, because presidential majority want to present their candidate, who is the actually president of the DRC, but the opposition is not trying to allow that if this can happen. The reason why there
Now,
is
Jimmy,
some
Jimmy,
protesting which
remind
is
us of
happening in
the
the DRC.
constitutional changes that President Félix Tshisekedi has proposed.
uh, is to first of all to allow the third mandate of a president not to have a limit for or three for what 2 mandates, but it's the proposition is to allow if a president can be able to present himself on the next election, he can present to the third for the third mandate of his own succession. But the constitution doesn't talk about this. Reason why the opposition is not part of this, and other things is to allow the president to have to control the whole institution of the Democratic Republic of Congo, or to propose some laws without interest the Senate or the Parliament. Is that some of the great point which the president and the presidential majority have proposed to this reform, which the opposition and the civil society is protesting right now.
Just in wrapping up, Jimmy, has there been any indication that government is willing to engage with those who say the constitutional reform is poorly timed given the country's security crisis?
This is the problem, because the UDPS, a party which is on the which is to lead the country right now, proposed the constitutional reform when there is some issues in the DRC which they could be resolved, especially like insecurity and to put first the social development the first place, which could be resolved without thinking about even the constitutional reform. Reason why they don't understand, because the government is involved in this situation of constitutional reform, and they have shown it on the through the media, through the whole displacement of the president. It shows the importance really of the constitutional reform. Reason why the civil society and the opposition, they want only to see the social of Congolese put at the first place, not the constitutional reform. This issue was the first, and is the government which proposed at first, and find the support of president and the presidential majority. Reason why this creates a bad climate in Congolese climate.
Well, Jimmy, we'll leave it there for today. Thank you for joining us on Africa Update.
Thank you so much.
That's our correspondent in the DRC, Jimmy Shukrani Bakomera, joining us on the line.
Tune in and turn up the volume. This